What's going on, ladies and gents? Mike the Machine here, back in the machine shop. Our newest DVD, Stretch Your Wings and Fly Away, chinning your way to a wide back. Now, why did I do this DVD? Well, I think there's so many people out there in the training world that kind of lazy. And they want to sit down at the universal machines and do their lat pull downs and all the other good stuff. And don't get me wrong, I think machines have a very good purpose in our training regimen. However, to get up on the bar up there, that's real hard and nasty. That's where all the real men are made, man. We go from boys to men, from girls to ladies. You get on that bar and you start cracking it up. It's a lot harder. You can take the biggest guy who can bench press 500 pounds, maybe pull a truck, but a lot of them can't get up there and do a real pull-up / chin-up. However, they can sit down on their seat of strength and do lat pull-downs all day. Another thing you'll notice is when people do lat pull-downs, again, I think it's great movement and should be used in our little bag of strength tricks. A lot of people will do it wrong. Reason being is a lot of people don't have that mind-muscle connection yet. It takes a long time. I've been doing this kind of work 23 years, and it took me a long time before I understood how to use my lat muscles compared to just pulling with my biceps. A lot of guys and ladies, when they're doing lat pull downs, they will swing back and forth. It'll look something like this. They'll be holding the bar up in front of them. It could be a wide grip, it could be a close grip, it could be an underhand grip. And what you'll see is they'll start to sway back and forth. And then when they get ready for the big pull, they lay way back all the way down here and their body is almost hanging off the seat and they're pulling down like this. That's no good. Most of them are using their lower back and body momentum, the sway, to pull the bar down to their chest to get the weight moving. I think it should be all lats. To do that in a lat pull down, again, this is about chins. I'm getting to a few important points here so you understand. You want to contract your lats back. You don't want to pull with your biceps first. That's the mind-muscle connection. When your arms are straight, if you can notice, all I'm going to do, my arm is going to still be straight, I'm going to pull my lats back. Or in other words, contract my shoulder blades. I'm here, I'm going to pull back. Pull back my shoulder blades, then my arms are going to follow. I'm not doing this number and then pulling back. And we're not trying to do our biceps here, ladies and gents, we're trying to work our lats. Now, when you get up on the bar, I do believe if you're not strong enough or seasoned enough, it's a lot harder to just strictly pull with your lats than incorporating your biceps as well. A lot of people are going to incorporate the biceps first to get that pull, initial pull, and to get yourself up over the bar. Now, what happens if you cannot do a pull-up / chin-up? Now, the difference is between a pull-up and a chin-up. A pull-up is when your hands are put palms facing you, back of your hand away from you, such as doing a curl. This would be a pull-up. A chin-up is when your palms are away from you, back of your hand is facing you, and your hands are over the bar like so. This is a chin-up, this is a pull-up. Other people might call it something else. That's what I call it. And since this is our DVD, that's what we're calling it. Now, if you cannot do a chin-up yet, and your muscles or your strength is not where it needs to be, there's 3 different things you can do. Well, actually, 2 main ones. Number 1 is called a negative. Now, negatives, I'm sure you've heard before, are a great way to build strength. When you do it for the chin / pull-up, what you're going to do is get up on the bar. If you don't have a power rack like so, you can use these pins here. You will use a bench, such that I'm seated on, or a stool. You don't even need a partner for this, really. And what you're going to do is you're going to get up on the bar. I'll demonstrate for you. You're going to get up on the bar. For this sake, we'll do a chin, palms over. Get up on the bar. I'm going to do a pull instead. You're going to use the bench and you're going to put your chin over the bar and you're going to hold yourself in that position. Meaning that your arms are not going to be locked straight. They're going to be already contracted. And what your goal is to resist your body from being pulled down. You're going to hold a position like so. You will hold this position probably about 10 seconds. Lower yourself back down. Again, you can also do it overhand grip. Same thing. Hold yourself above the bar. as you noticed, I crossed my feet and bent my legs. That's very important because another method we're going to talk about is having an assistant or an assist, a partner if you will. I cross my feet because if I have a partner helping me and I don't have the bench, let's say, and a partner helps pick me up, put me up on the bar. Let's say we're in a park or at a school and they have chin-up bars, which is unfortunately, we don't see that too often anymore in schools because our school system's gotten weak. They don't push physical education anymore. That's why obesity is such a problem. That's for another day. I don't want to get on a rant, man. I'm feeling good. Now, you get up on that bar. Your partner gives you the assist, helps you get up on the bar. Cross your feet. He will grab your feet while they're crossed. He will either hold them in his hands or he'll stick them against his thigh. Here. Now what that does is that enables you to use your feet and drive off of his leg or her leg and get yourself up over the bar to do real reps. Okay? As you get stronger and you get better, he can then start giving you less assistance, meaning that he'll loosen up his grip, maybe not help you as much until you get strong enough to do one on your own. Now, when you're up there on the bar, and you've already been up on top, and you're negativing yourself, you're holding yourself above the bar, what you want to do is start letting yourself go down a little bit, 3 to 5 inches. That'll be called a static hold, okay? So you can do negatives, we'll start back in the beginning, you can do negatives with your chin above the bar, okay? You do negatives as you get stronger, a little bit below the bar, maybe nose to the bar, hold it, you get stronger, negative here, okay? Now, static hold is similar to a negative, except the static hold, you're going to get in a certain position, and what you're going to do is you're going to, instead of holding that position like a negative, like say if I'm doing a negative over the bar and I'm holding that position for 10 seconds, a static hold is you'll get to a certain position and you will lower 3 to 5 inches each time. It looks like this. I'm above, here comes a static hold. I held, okay? I'm here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now fully extended. Now, nobody knows your body better than you. So what that means is you've got to go according to how your body feels. Not by how your partner thinks you feel, how you feel. Only you know, because again, we always want to be safe when we train. We're not trying to injure ourselves. We're trying to build our body up enough to where we won't get injured and we can keep having training days every day. Because remember, a workout missed is gone forever. Now granted, we're going to take days off, I understand that. But man, I don't know how about you, but I feel good after a training session. I look forward to it. It's a high for me. So, if you're not feeling too powerful that day and you got a partner with you, tell your partner, say, hey, I'm not feeling that strong. Let's go a little bit easier today. Now, another very important thing to know, when you're doing pulls or chin-ups, use different hand positions. Our body is made to go at all different angles. That's the beauty of what we have here with our build. You don't want to just do chin-ups in close or pull-ups close or wide. Do a variety. First, I suggest, because you're going to find out some people are stronger with a wide grip. I myself am very strong for me, all the way out wider than shoulder width. Some people say that's bad, puts a lot of strain on your shoulders. I've had left shoulder injuries. I don't find that. I find that the wider I go, the more comfortable I feel. Some people are stronger that way, as I said, some are not. Most people will be strong in close. That only makes sense because you're nice and compact and tight. So you might find yourself feel a lot more power in close with your hands. I suggest find where you feel comfortable. I would say start with shoulder width grip. And again, you can start, most people want to start with a pull. Again, but we're trying to work our lats. So to me, if we do pull-ups, our biceps are primarily involved. Our lats are secondary muscles in this action, okay? So for the sake of this DVD, I'd rather you start overhand grip. What I suggest is start shoulder width grip, overhand. For me, shoulder width grip is probably, about right here. Start shoulder width and do, we'll put this down in the little tips I'm going to send you with the DVD. I would say you want to build up probably 4 sets. And we'll talk about that later on as far as weights and rep schemes and all that stuff. But you want to start shoulder width. And once you feel comfortable, branch out. Maybe go real wide You can go really close. Again, if you want, I mean, you can do the pulls. I'd rather you not. You can do a switch grip, which is over-under, or vice versa. Okay, you can do a commando style, which you'll see all this later on. Commando style is your hands are together. There's a variety of different things you can do. As in like most of my DVDs, what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain to you the exercises, and then you're going to see me do a full blast, as the machine does, the machine's methods of madness and mayhem, baby. Clanging and banging. Now, some very important things to know about. Getting on that bar, it's a scary thing for some people because there's nothing supporting your weight except your arms. It's all on you and on your grip. So there's a different thing you do for your grip as well. We'll touch on that just a little bit. Your forearms are very important in this movement. You can do, I mean, this is not a grip DVD, but you can do a lot of things. Wrist curls for your wrists. Static holds. Static holds are you're in a rack, or maybe not a rack. Maybe you're holding plates in your hands and you're gripping and you're just doing strength work for time, holding the plates or holding a heavy bar to help build the grip. But still, that's all accessory exercises. The best thing to do is get up on the bar, do some negatives, some static holds. You can also use a towel. Get a towel. You want to wrap a towel around the bar and one hand over the bar, and you can use this towel or a belt or a band. You can help you pull up as well. So with that in mind, we're going to get into some of the exercises. Now, there are some special exercises on here as well that are more for fun. They're advanced. I consider them fun exercises, but they're also very advanced movements. And we will talk about that in a minute. All right, why do I think chins are important? As I said earlier, getting on that bar is a big deal, man. It's a lot harder than sitting on your seat of strength doing pull downs. If you have a nice appearance, nice wide lats, nice lat spread, looks like a cobra hood, you got a little waist, you look real impressive. Now again, I'm not really into the whole look deal. Again, we do this all for not show. It's all for combat. We want to be able to get out there in the real world and be able to, if we got stuck doing something and we had to climb out of a building, or Lord forbid we had to climb out of a building or climb up, or somebody's cat was stuck in a tree and we got to climb, you want to be able to use your hands and your lat strength to get up there and do something. Doing pull downs, the carryover is not the same. Like I said at the beginning, you can have a guy that can bench and squat 5, 7, whatever it may be, 700 pounds, but you get him to do a chin, most of the people can't. You get a few exceptions out there, some big nasty guys that can do it, and that's real impressive. But the carryover is not the same. Now you can do chins and then be real strong on the lat pull down. So I think that's another reason why I get up on the bar is very important. And you can see guys out there doing some crazy things, all sorts of tricks on the bar. It's really, really cool. We're going to do later on in the DVD, I'm going to show you some of the ones that I personally like. One of them is just using your finger as you build your power. You can do just finger chins. That's a lot of strain on the tendons in your hands and on your knuckle, but once you build up enough, it's pretty awesome. There's even a buddy of mine out there, Brad Johnson. This guy, I haven't seen anybody on his level. This guy can literally do pinky chins. Now that's nasty. Another thing this man does is he will hold rafters in his hands up in the ceiling and lever his body up. If you don't know about Brad Johnson, you go check him out. Brad is amazing. He's like a gymnast. I don't even think gymnasts can carry his weight. So with that in mind, we're going to get ready. I'm going to start teaching you some of these exercises. And again, be patient and we'll get to the clanging and banging and the madness and mayhem. I'm the Machine. Thanks a lot for purchasing this DVD. Always check out DennisRogers.com. APT Pro wrist straps, Stronger Grip, Ryan Pitts, and all the other many awesome people out there. Chris Ryder, Adam Glass, Marty Mac McKenzie, Dave Whitley, Iron Tamer, all these good guys, all get good information, and Dennis Rogers is the man. See you real soon. Thanks. Alright, ladies and gents, now I'm going to give you some tips that can also help you out if you cannot do a chin-up or pull-up by yourself. Now, first thing is, a lot of people don't like wrist straps. I happen to love wrist straps. Some of us are not equipped with the strong grip, as I said earlier. So I gave you a couple little tips on how to build the grip up using some things, some exercises for your forearms. Again, I'm not going into big detail about that. This is all about doing the chins. However, I think wrist straps are a great asset to our game. Reason being is, let's say our grip is just real weak and our grip gives out before our lats give out, which is very common. our lats are very strong. They can handle a lot of workload, high volume. Our grip will give out before our lat muscles. Therefore, I have no problem in using wrist straps. I'm known to use straps, and I'm also known to not use straps. Straps are great. They go over your wrist. I'm sure all of you know, I'm not going to go into detail about this. There's all various kinds of straps out there, different companies. I personally like APT Pro wrist straps. Mr. Alan Thomas, he's a Marine, hence I like him already. Mr. Thomas has got a great company. Go to prowriststraps.com or just type in APT into Google and they'll come up with it. He's got various types of straps. You just put them on. You always want the strap. When you put it on, you always want the strap going in with your thumb. So your palm is like so. You want the strap to go right here between, on the web of your hand, between the thumb and the pointing finger. It goes around your wrist and you tighten it up. This looks like so. Okay? Very simple. That's how I strap in. Now what straps do is they allow us to wrap around the bar and then give us a better grip. Therefore, when our grip gives out, we're still strapped into the bar. We can bang out some more repetitions with our lats. Now I've got other things hanging up here. You can see I've got a nice heavy band. And again, as I mentioned, we've got the towels for support. What I'm going to do first is just show you how to strap in. So we'll slide this bad boy over. We'll get to that in a little while. When you strap in, you do not strap in backwards. You strap in around the bar, just like you would with a dumbbell. And you go around the bar a couple times. Some people like to strap in all the way. They like to wrap, meaning they like to wrap the bar many times over and get a real good bite on it. It does make the wrap a little thicker, therefore your hand has more material to grab. I like maybe 1 or 2 times around. There's 1, there's 2, and just as long as my web of my hand is not on the knurling of the bar or what I am grabbing, I want some cloth material there, and there I go. You can also, as I said, wrapping it tight is a necessity. I'm not going to get into doing a thumb grip or an over thumb grip, thumbless or thumb grip. All I'm going to say about that is you'll see a lot of different people out there, some great people doing chins. They will grab the bar with their thumb under the bar, like so. I do think we have thumbs for a purpose, therefore I like to use my thumbs around the bar. But you may also take your thumb, my right hand, and go over the bar with it. Now your thumb is not under the bar, it's just on top. I really prefer to use my thumb under the bar, but again, it all depends on you. So we're not going to get into that too much. Try both grips, see what you like best, see what works for you. Again, you know your body better than anybody else. And you strap in, like so. And we'll just do a couple of reps here. I'm not going to go all the way up because I want my head to hit the back of the bar. And another one. Okay, that's straps. A good asset to our strength game. Moving on, I mentioned using a towel. If you're not strong enough yet and you need some assistance, we'll use my right hand holding the towel, my left hand on the bar. You can do this both ways, obviously. You're not going to want to, and don't get me wrong now, let's be smart. We're not going to just hold the towel with our right hand and pull with our left hand. If we do it this way with our holding the towel as a support with our right hand, well, we're going to do the same thing with our left hand. It only makes sense. Equal out the body. It looks like this. Get a good bite on the towel. What I did, I fold the towel over just once. This is even a small towel. You can do it with a longer towel if you need to. That'll even give you more strength, more assistance. I just folded it over, let it lay on top of the rack, on the bar, crunch it up, get a good bite. Again, now this time I will use my thumb over the bar. Let's change it up. Make sure your hands are equal. Get down here, pull up. See? It assists me. Of course, I'm going more. I get more of a stretch, obviously, with my left hand side. I look like I'm at an angle. Why is that? My left hand's on top of the bar. My right hand is below. And we'll change it. Think about that now. Our left hand's on top of the bar. We have a farther distance to move our body. Our right hand's down lower. Hence we have a lower distance to travel for our pull. We'll do the same thing over here. A couple little examples. Same thing. Going at an angle. That's an towel assist pull-up. Now you see the band here. Now this is awesome. And one of my buddies, I'm going to drop a name. I've got a lot of good buddies in the strength world. One of my buddies, the Iron Tamer, Dave Whitley. He is one of the most amazing instructors. He specializes in kettlebells. He's one of the most amazing instructors I've ever had the pleasure of learning from. And I'm not a kettlebell guy. I like him, respect him, but it's not my forte. David's a big man. I think Dave now, he's dropped down. Well, heck, I think he was in the 270s at one time, maybe 260. I think he's down to 245 maybe, looking lean and mean. Got a little bit of machine in him. Well, anyways, I was at David's in Tennessee training, and he said, Mike, I'm working up to do a pull-up. Can never do one. So he has nice bands. Again, I got my bands from aptprowriststraps.com. You can get heavy bands all over the place, but again, I like Mr. Thomas in his service, and I always try to support fellow military men, not just Marines. Well, Iron Tamer Dave had this thing up in his little dungeon shed in the backyard, and he had a band. He said, Mike, check this out. Now, I heard of this before. I had never done it because I've always been able to do pull-ups and chin-ups. Stick your foot in the band, just like that. Okay? Now you're getting your pull-up position. Step down, put your foot on your top, your other foot. Whatever foot's in the band, put your other foot on top, and then pull up. Just like so. Very easy. Great assistance exercise. And again now, I went right foot in. You also want to go with the left foot in. Put your right foot on top. Great movement. Here's the thing. Yes, it looks easy. Yes, it helps you a lot. But it also enables you, when you pull up on the bar, it lifts you straight up in the air. Helps you work on your lat muscles if you're not strong enough. The band will assist you, lift you up over the bar. That's using a band as an assistance. Alright, ladies and gents, I just finished up showing you some accessory exercises that can help assist you in building yourself up to do a full pull-up or chin-up. Now, in my opinion, the way to gauge where your strength levels are before we move on to the next step is as to how many chin-ups you can do in a row. In my opinion, I suggest that you do 20 full repetition chin-ups, full extension, before you go on to the next step. The next step would be adding weight to your body. Now, the reason I picked 20, very simple. A lot of people, if you get up on a bar, you get comfortable, you can do 10 reps, no problem. I think 20 reps is a great goal. You'll have plenty of muscular endurance built up in your lats and your biceps, and you'll be ready to turn up a notch, build your lats a little wider, build some more power. Now, there's some methods we can use to add weight to our body. Number one, first method is we use a dipping or weight belt. Now this one again is from APT Pro wrist straps. Really good durable belt. Very simple procedure here. They all have a little clip onto the chain. And all you do is wrap this bad boy around your waist. And if you have a big plate, if you're strong enough to handle a 45 or more 45s, I put it through there, through the weight, hook up to the loop here. The weight will sit in the middle, here between your legs, like so. That's one way. I'm not going to show you right now with the weight because later on in the DVD, as I said, you can go right to that right now if you want, but I suggest you listen to my instructional and you'll see me clanging and banging with weights attached to the dip belt. That's number one. Now, when you use the dip belt, there's some key points to remember. First of all, it's going to add some swing possibly to the movement, meaning it's going to make it a lot stronger because not only are you pulling your weight, but you're going to have this weight hanging down between your legs. If you're not a strong puller, what's going to happen is you will start to swing a little bit. It's natural, it happens at first when you're just beginning. And that little swing is going to then add to the plate or the weight swinging. You can also use a dumbbell to attach to the belt. I like the plates. Now, very careful, you want to go real strict. When we add weight to our bodies, hanging down from the belt, our goal is to do lower reps. I suggest 8 reps and under, even 5s. If you really want to feel big and nasty, you can try 3s, triples. Another method, you can use a dumbbell. Very simple. Get up on a bar. You may have your partner assist you. Put the weight between your feet. I'm just going to show you real quick. Get in on the bar, put the dumbbell between your feet, hold it there, and pull up. Like so. It's another very easy method. You don't have to worry so much about the swinging when you're using a dumbbell between your feet, because it's down at the end of your feet. It's not hanging between your legs, and your feet will most likely reach the floor if you're in a power rack, or if you're in a commercial gym. They'll have a chin bar, usually between the universal machines where you do cable crossovers, all that kind of fluff. And those bars are pretty high, so your feet might not be touching the ground. Now, another way is to take a medicine ball. This happens to be a 12-pound ball, and you'll stick it between your legs. Now, generally, you have somebody help you with this. As you can see, my legs are wide. I'm going to try to squeeze it myself without it falling down. Get up here, hold the ball between my legs. I'm going to start chinning. Like so. That's another great way you can add weight. Now, moving on, there's another variation we can use. All different ways of doing chin-ups. This is chins with towels. Now you saw earlier where I use the towel as an assist movement with one hand on the bar. So one hand's longer, one hand's shorter due to the movement, the length of the towel. Now this is a harder movement where you'll be using your grip more because of the emphasis of the towels, which will put more strain on your grip. Now you can use big thick beach towels. These are little tiny hand towels that I got from a dollar store. These are actually for my clients when they're sweating, because we do sweat in the machine shop. We don't drink our coffees and be social butterflies and watch soap operas. Talk about Sports Center. Anyways, grab onto the towels. They might rip, I'm not sure. Pull up, and one's ripping, so that's why I stopped. That would have been a nasty accident. But anyways, you can use towels for doing chins. Another style, commando style. Now, commando style is putting your hands as if you're holding a baseball bat or a hammer. And when I do commando style pull-ups and chin-ups, I'll go on one side of the bar and the other side of the bar. So you put your hands together. Again, I'll show you this later on, but I want to demonstrate for you. Just another good variation. Try to get in the center of the bar. Pull down, pull up, 1, pull up. Then you switch your grip. Commando style, not one of my favorites, but nonetheless a very good movement. Again, remember, our bodies can go at all different angles. We're not just here in the front. If we're going to wrestle, we're not here, okay? We get pulled and pushed from all different angles, so we should hit our bodies from all different angles. Next is called the switch grip or the over-under. I like this movement. Now during this movement, your bicep will come in more into play on the hand that is under. Over-under grip, if you don't know, is simply having one hand palm over, one hand palm under. That's it. And you see that a lot in powerlifting, powerlifting competitions, strongman, if we're going to deadlift, things that heavy shrugs, I do when I shrug. Over-under. I personally, left-handed, I like my left hand under, right hand over. When we chin though, we're going to do both grips. Again, we want to hit our body from all different angles. We don't want one side dominant than the other. Over-under grip is very simple. You can go close or wide. We've already hit that earlier in the DVD. I'm going to go about a little bit shoulder width. My left hand will be under, right hand will be over. Now again, why is the bicep more into play? Because my left hand is now supinated, pronated, palm over, supinated, palm up. Okay? My palm is up facing me. Therefore the bicep is more engaged. My right hand is pronated, bicep is less engaged. So we're here, like so. Then we'll switch it. Again, right? Want to be equal on both sides. Right hand under, left hand over. Same deal. Another great movement. Now you also see later on, I'm not going to demonstrate this because I have to do it in a live situation and I can't talk when I'm doing it, is switch grips in midair. I'm going to add that to this section that will be more of specialty chins. Won't be so much of an instruction on that, but you see a lot of guys, awesome guys out there, a lot of gymnasts. Ross Endomate from RossTraining.com, another great guy. Cool, just guys that can do crazy, nasty things. And what you do is you switch grip, you pull up in the grip, let go of the bar and switch grip midair. And I'll demonstrate that later on. Another great movement is hands together. Again, you can do it as a curl style, pull up, or do it as a chin. Now when I do these, I like to try to pull up as high as possible, almost to the point I get my chest up there. All the way up, get my chin way over, and down. Down. I have a little space here, there should be a little closer, there we go. Down. Moving on, I'm just going to keep going. Because you see all these things later on, but I'm feeling good. Be neutral grip. Now neutral grip is when your hands are facing together, okay? Like so. Now, I don't have the bars here to do that. So what we'll do, where I filmed that at, was actually not in my gym. It was actually at another gym. Which caused some issues when I left. But now we're in the machine shop gym. So in order to do this right, we'll do it from here. Neutral grips, palms facing one another. I'll do it from here. That's your neutral grip. Now of course, later on in the DVD you'll see it with my hands really close. You can also use a chin bar, a little V-bar they call it. Put that up on the rack itself, on the bar, you can do it that way. But again, we got to improvise, adapt and overcome. This is the same thing as neutral grip, I'm just going very wide. Usually you do neutral grip chins, it's usually in very close inside your chest. Probably right about where your chest is, the pec line, right about there, real nice and tight. That's a neutral grip. Next step, L sit. We put our bodies in the shape of an L. And it looks very simple. We just kind of stick our legs out straight and pull up like this. Cross your feet if you want. Stretch. Excuse me. That's L sit. Next one's more of a, I consider this kind of a specialty move. It'd be doing circle motions. I feel this more, you can kind of isolate each side of your lats. That's where I feel it. You might not, but give you a quick little demo. Yeah, I'm getting a little winded. I'm only doing, 3 or 5 here and there, but still kicks the wind out of you a little. It looks like this. Go the other way. That's circular chins. Next one is with our knees bent. Same thing as the L sit, except our knees are bent, like in the hanging, and if you're doing a hanging knee raise in the bars, you've seen in Armored Core 2. Get my hands right. And we bring our knees up. That's chins with knees bent. And next we can move on to with the abs, using these ab slings, which are for using hanging knee raises, as I just said. And I'll show you some variations you can do using these. Now I'll be right back with that in a second. Alright, we're back. Had to take a little water break. I said we're going to use the ab slings, which are used for hanging knee raises, hanging leg raises. Well, we can also do pull-ups and chin-ups with these. It's pretty cool. It's a good little added bonus to our training. Just slip your arms in like you usually would if you're going to do some hanging knees. And what we're going to do first is arms crossed. Now, what we're going to do is cross our arms as if we're just standing there having issues with somebody, and we're crossing our arms. Or in the military, we are told to cross our arms, stick our hands under our armpits to stay warm. Same concept. You can, even if you want to, you can hold the straps. And all you're going to do is hang down like so. What you want to do now is hang all the way down and pull up like this. Doesn't look like much. You're not getting a full extension with your lats. That's true, because our arms are held in front of our chest. However, if you get that mind-muscle connection and try to not just pull with your arms, but literally try to contract your lats. Try to get in your mind the comparison to a pullover. Barbell or dumbbell pullover. Let's use barbell because a dumbbell pullover, our arms will be extended. Barbell pullover, our arms will be bent. Some guys do it straight arm too. I haven't seen it done since the old days. Back to George Hackenschmidt, people of that nature know who he is. Russian Lion, legit wrestler back in the early days. Try to get that muscle memory connection here where you're actually flexing your shoulder blades and lats down and coming back up. Down, up. Stick your chest out and back. That's the idea you want to have when you're pulling. You don't want to just go like this with your arms. That's nothing. You're going to still hit your lats secondary, but we don't want to do that. We want to hit primarily our lats. Pull back and up. That's the mentality you want to have. It's something that I would include at the end of your workout, after you've done a bunch of sets of chins, various kinds, whichever ones you pick that you've selected. We'll do a little manual on this here, a little pamphlet. Use this as a finisher because you can do high reps very easily and it'll just pump blood in the muscle. Again, anything we can use to help build our lats to get a better, wider looking V-taper, better for combat, to pull ourselves up if we ever need to pull ourselves out of a window, Lord forbid if there was a fire or something like that, or to pull up to a tree, climb somewhere. Very important, we're going to use it. Now next, and again, these are not my original ideas. These have been around, people have done videos on them or not, or what have you, but can also apply some different movements, such as we'll use Gene LaBelle. Gene LaBelle, wonderful, legendary grappler, legit wrestler. As you know, I love real wrestling, not wrestling. Mark Fleming and Lou Thesz. Lou Thesz was one of my idols, along with my grandfather, Rough-House Red Stimson, who was a pro wrestler before it started being the circus act that it is today. And you can use actually the LaBelle grip. LaBelle grip, 3 fingers, 2 fingers spread out, grasp the 3 fingers and clasp, and hang, and you can also do pulls this way. Now one thing you notice with these straps is they'll go up in your armpits, kind of pinch a little bit, so find where you feel comfortable. Make the grasp, pull up. Now again, I'm not just pulling with my arms. I pull my arms, what? That's my arms. I'm going to stand all the way down. I'm looking at you down to my arms. Pull my lats back, which they are, and I'm going to pull up. Stick my chest out. That's all lats. Now another version, as you know, MMA has become a huge sport. I used to compete from 1996 to 2000. Long time ago. I have no interest in doing it anymore. I don't want to get beat up, hit and squeezed. However, you can also do certain techniques using these ab slings while you're in a chin position, such as rear naked choke. Grab in here, up top, hang, pull. Again, we're still using that same lat motion that we were using earlier. Now you see, my hand's got an angle. I'm not keeping it straight up. Hey, it's okay. It's a lot of weight to be holding it up here with just your arms. That's just some variety. I'm sure there's many other ways, different varieties you can think of using the straps. That's just a little added bonus that I've messed with in the past a little bit. I don't use it too much right now, but sometimes you want to switch it up, break the monotony. Maybe you're doing a set schedule with your chinning and you want to break it up a little bit, use some straps. Another version that we use, if you're really strong to do it, is finger chin-ups. Now, I can do it with my middle finger. I can't do it with my pointy finger. You do it with 2 fingers. There's extreme tension on the knuckles in your fingers, the tendons. But I'll tell you what, if you can do finger chins, it builds up the tendons in your forearms and your fingers like steel cables. It's nasty. Nice and powerful. Always use chalk. I'm not using chalk right now, but we'll see if we can get this knock one out to show you. What I do is my middle finger, because obviously it's the biggest finger on my hand. Stick a lot of chalk on here. I'm going to wrap my middle finger around the bar as deep as I can, get nice and tight in there, and then hang. Now this is a lot of pain and strain on my finger. Brad Johnson, I've already mentioned before, this man is nasty, nasty, nasty. Super good guy, but nasty when it comes to chin-ups. He hangs from rafters and, I don't know, he's probably like Spider-Man. The guy is just amazing. A lighter guy, but phenomenal. I think he can do stuff with all of his fingers. The machine cannot, but that's okay. So you hang like so. That's just one. Again, no chalk, so it wasn't perfect, but go to the workout footage and you'll see I do it and it looks nice and good. We do it with some added weight, no worries at all. Alright, we're going to move on with some other variations using a rope. We can go upside down on the rope, we can sit and pull up on a rope, and we'll use some rings, gymnastic rings, to do reclining rows, which I know they're not chins, but they're still using our body weight, developing our lats for combat. And remember guys, ladies and gents, we're not show, we're all go, our strength is made for combat, not to look pretty on the beach, walking around in a bathing suit, flexing our muscles. So I'm going to get the thing set up with the rope, and we'll be right back. Alright ladies and gents, moving on, we have a nice thick rope. Now, as I said, we'll show you some other exercises, more accessory exercises. There's still pull-ups and chin-ups using ropes, and we're also going to show you something that wasn't accessible to me during the workout portion of this DVD. As I said, I was filming somewhere else, left it at my own place, which hence we're at the machine shop. We're going to show you some one other exercise with gymnastic rings. Now, with the rope, you can use various thicknesses of rope. This is a nice, pretty decent thick rope, and you can do pull-ups with it. Very simple to do. You just sit down, your legs straight, or feet crossed. Okay? So you can do them straight like this, just like an L as we did earlier, and just grab up the top of the rope above your head and pull straight up. I'm not using my feet to help me. You can also cross your feet, still keeping your feet straight out in front of you as an L. Go up as high as you can, get a good grip. Pull. Another option, keep your legs crossed. Now, as you'll see later on, earlier I spoke about adding weight once you can do 20 chin-ups. You can add a weight here and sit the weight in your lap. You might have seen me do this on a couple clips in the past. I also show it to you later on the workout section. Same motion as we just did. Grab up top. Try not to use your feet or your bottom, your seat of strength, to lift yourself up. Pull all with your arms and lats. Now, of course, you're going to reset. I turn to my left, reset. That's because of the way the rope is set on the power rack. I don't have the rope hanging from the ceiling. If you have access to have your rope hanging from a tree or from the ceiling, that's why I have it doubled up here. You won't have the problem of turning like I am. That's the way the rope's positioned. Either way, we improvise. It's like so. Now, excuse me, another option you can do is upside down pull-ups. Now, you also see me climbing up this rope later on in the workout section. I'm from a much higher distance. I go upside down and climb up the rope, but we can also do chin-ups while in upside down position. So what I'm going to do is get in here between the rope, lay up as far as I can on the back of my shoulders, and stick my legs up in the air. My legs are the equivalent of doing a leg thrust up. If you've watched Armored Core 2 or Armored Core, you will see the leg thrust up demonstrated. And what you want to do is try to pull up and keep your legs straight up above you. Again, I don't want to hit my mirror or I have this rack. It's not the best place to have the rack. Either way, here. Now I'm going to twist because of the rope, right? Pull up, come back down. I'm using my foot as a guideline so I don't twist. Try to get my feet up to the bar. And if you're an old guy like me, kind of brings you back to your childhood on a swing set. Now, we're going to move on to neutral grip. Again, neutral grip means palm facing one another. And I'm going to show you a way of doing this with rings, gymnastic rings. Now, I'm not talking little kiddie rings. There's some good companies out there where you can order big gymnastic rings for training. Now, I don't demonstrate this later on in the DVD in the workout section. I did not have rings accessible to me at the time. What I did demonstrate was doing a reclined row while my feet are on the bench, holding onto a 45-pound bar and a rack. That's pretty common. It's still a form of a chin-up because you are pulling your body up to the bar. So I'm going to show you that one later on. You see it in the workout section, and I added weight to my body. Now, if you're doing a reclined row, you can't have weight on your chest. The weight will fall off. So I put chains around my shoulders, over my chest, and they hung down. We use that as extra weight. The rings is just another movement you can use. Again, help your body adapt, grow bigger and stronger. Now, excuse me. In the DVD in the workout section, you are going to see me doing the neutral grip, as I'm going to show you with the rings. Okay? You're going to show me doing it out of a big universal machine, because that particular machine had the handles, like I showed you earlier, that stick out. So my palms are in. And they were very close. And I went upside down like I just showed you with the rope. I went upside down that way. So don't get confused. Again, but it's all about using your imagination and thinking, how can I hit my body from every angle possible? So this is another method of hitting your body. Another thing you can do too, while I have the rope up here, is let's say you're not strong enough from your seat of strength to pull up, then you can stay on your knees like so and pull up just like we did. Again, this rope's going to make you twist. Same motion, hands above head, on your knees, and pull. Reset, pull. Reset, pull. Very simple. Now, before I hook the rings up and show you some reclining rows, I want to talk a little bit about the specialty exercises that I mentioned earlier, such as the switch grip over under in midair. There'll be a section where you'll be able to check that out. And there's not going to be any instructionals because it's too hard for me to explain during the movement, but there'll be exercises such as clapping chin-ups, where if you pull up, what you want to do is pull up on the bar, pull up so fast and hard that you actually let go of the bar in midair, clap your hands, grab the bar before you land on the ground. It's a little tricky. You have a lot of speed, a lot of power. Again, when I mentioned it first, over, under, or switch grip chins, you will pull up, switch your grip, come back down the motion, pull up again, switch your grip, pull up on the motion. All in between, before you land on the ground, you never touch the ground. It's in midair and you switch grip, and you pull up during the switch of the motion. Another one, again, would be those finger chins that I talked about. I will demonstrate that as well. I consider those all specialty because you have to have extreme strength to do that. Maybe some of you out there are just studs already and genetically gifted and you can do them. But for those of us that had to work on it, you'll see those as well. So we're going to move on to the recline rings and also the neutral grip with the rings. We'll see you in a couple seconds. Alright guys, here we are. We got the rings set up, ready to go. There's a number of things you can do with the rings. You can do normal pull-ups. You just adjust the rings up and you can pull up. I mentioned neutral grip, and I also mentioned doing it from a bench. As I show later on with the 45-pound bar, we do recline rows. I'm going to show it to you with the rings as well, neutral grip. All you're going to do is put your feet up on the bench, like so, lay back. My hands are neutral, again, palms facing palms, pull up as much as you can. Just like that. No big deal, okay? If you want to do neutral grip, you want to do overs, just like so, over. Okay, you can also do switch grips. Just like I talked about on the bar. Everything is interchangeable. That's the beauty of this. When you do body weight training, the possibility is really endless. It all depends on what you can think up. Okay, you're not fixed like when you use just a barbell or dumbbells or kettlebells. So again, we do over under. Here we go. Over unders. Okay, we can do pull-ups like I just showed with the rope, sitting under the rope, under the rings. Again, the distance, I'm not going to get able to adjust them, but I have to lean back a little bit for this because if not, it's too short. Put your hands this way. Do a curl style. All perfect things you can do with different training implements that you have at your disposal. Now, what I want to talk about is sets and reps. Now, sets and reps all really depend on the person. As I said way at the beginning, I think that everybody should work up to trying to do 20 repetitions in the chin-up / pull-up. I think that's a great line right there, great gauge to test your strength endurance, and as well as your muscular endurance, as well as your strength. I think to add weight to your body, you want to go 8 reps and under. Do 8s, 5s, or even triples. You can do singles too. I don't think the singles carry over as well in this particular exercise. Again, that's personal opinion. That's how I feel about it. I think it's better, 3s, no lower than 3, 5s you can do 6s, whatever your training methodology may be. That's what I suggest. Sets, there's many different things you can do. You can do 10 sets of 5 one day. What you can do is 10 sets of 5, and you can switch in one exercise, or you can switch it up to many different exercises. So let's say you pick 5 or 6 of the exercises that I've shown you, and you do, if you have 10 sets, okay, then you'll do, if you have 5 exercises and there's 10 sets, you'll do 2 sets per exercise. And just likewise, you can do 3 sets per exercise, whatever it is you want to do. So you can do 10 sets of 5, you can do 10 sets of 3, you can do 10 sets of 8 if you're a real stud. You could do, if you want to do all power, let's say you could do 5 sets of 5. That's a normal, well-known training power set scheme. The possibility is pretty much endless of where to go. I think the main thing is consistency. The main thing is building the necessary muscular strength as well as the endurance in the muscle. The main thing is, though, is to enjoy what you're doing and to have fun, be consistent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to suggest in my little training booklet I'll group the exercises together on how I would do them. A lot of stuff depends on your physical stature too. I mean, some guys, if you have, and I don't know how you're built, but if you have wide lats already, then you're going to tend to do more exercises geared towards your width. I mean, we have some guys that lats are high, some guys lats are low, some guys lats start from their waist. There's many different ways. Close gripping. It really all depends on you, okay, without me looking at you. And again, we're not trying to do this for aesthetics, to look all pretty and walk around like we're bodybuilders or anything like that. We're doing this for combat, and so that we can be out there in the real world, and if we ever need to apply ourselves. So sets and reps, at least 4 sets at the minimum. You can even apply 4 sets of 12 for 4 weeks, 4 sets of 8 for 4 weeks, 4 sets of 5 for 4 weeks, maybe 4 sets of 3 for 4 weeks, and everything's for 4 weeks. So really find what works for you. Again, you only know your body. No one else knows it. You know it the best. See what works and apply it and work at it hard. Have a good work ethic. Get in the gym every day you can. If you need a rest day, take a rest day, and just have that and tear things up. And with that, I'm out of here.